Okay, it was kind of a nail-biter in Piscataway against St. Peter's of Jersey City, but we pull it out. Let's get to it. Okay, so Rutgers pulls out a 75-65 win against St. Peter's, and the game was closer than the score might have indicated. This was one that, a lot of people were chalking up as a win, and that we were going to have be on a roll until we got to Las Vegas and Notre Dame and Alabama. And I said to a buddy of mine, look, this is the kind of game that can give us trouble. You have to watch. And he was like, well, St. Peter's lost all those guys that they went on that run in the tournament a few years ago. But these MAC teams tend to rise up on occasion and play tough, and St. Peter's absolutely did. I actually used to live literally across the street from St. Peter's in Jersey City. Richard Nixon in 1968 came to visit there. We got a picture of him standing on top of his limo. Just a little tidbit from my history. Classic Nixonian pose with the peace sign. And nonetheless, this game, I'm sure, was making fans a little uncomfortable. Was this going to be another, early season St. Bonaventure, DePaul, Lafayette, Massachusetts loss? We've had some of those. And after being, defensively in the first half, we were not great. We managed to fight back, and then St. Peter's pulled ahead by, I think, 40-36, 40-35. And then the second half, we started to play, even though it was nip and tuck for most of the second half, by the end of the game, we started to play the kind of ball that we've become accustomed to with Rutgers playing defense. And so let's get to that point to begin with. To me, the big challenge for Rutgers and Coach Peichel this year is, from my standpoint, in my humble opinion, would he be able to coach offense? Let's face it. What do we have? 4 transfers and 5 freshmen, all who have some sort of offensive ability, whether it be creating shots or shooting. Could Coach Peichel, who kind of likes his gritty, determined guys that can grind out wins, would he be able to coach that style? And if he could coach offense, would he be able to still be able to play the kind of defense that he wants to play? I still think it's kind of up in the air. But after watching the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was last night, that St. Peter's went, we kind of held them down the stretch to making no shots whatsoever. It looked like our defense, especially in the first half, when St. Peter's had 40 points, you're like, boy, are we going to give up 80 points to St. Peter's? But we held tight second half, played Rutgers kind of ball, and I'm kind of surprised that we were able to play the kind of defense that we did. The eye test, what did it look like? This is a different kind of team. This is good ball movement. We have guys that can create their own shots, guys that can move and get to the basket, although we missed some shots from underneath the basket last night, at least early. Kick it out, have guys that can hit the shot. This is a different kind of team. This isn't, oh my God, grind it out. They're taking a shot. Are they going to miss? Can we rebound it? This is a team that's going to be more fluid, is going to be able to create their own shots, and is going to be a different style of play. Not quite run and gun up and down the court like the Indiana Pacers. Nonetheless, I kind of like that. It makes the game less painful to watch. Can't tell you how many times I wanted to pull hairs out of my head, and there's a lot of them to pull. Watching Rutgers teams, can they hold on to, a 2-point lead as they battle back and forth for an entire half against the team? Nonetheless, that was a positive. The eye test, this is a team that can, even though the offensive output and production hasn't been explosive yet and frankly not quite up to par, they're going to be able to be a team that can set up shots and create some offense. Another positive thing, Dercack, he's that guy, that sixth man, that guy coming off the bench that everybody loves. He's got hustle, grit, energy, determination. Just love that. He had 9.6 rebounds, 2 assists. He's going to be a guy that I think fans will absolutely love. A couple other positives. Only committed only 11 fouls. And sometimes in the past, because of our style of play, we get called for a lot of fouls. Not last night, only 11. And we had 5 steals and 5 blocks. So all of that stuff is good. But some old bugaboos. Actually, let's go through some stats. Of course, Harper was the leading scorer. 24 points, 8 of 17 shooting, 6 rebounds. Last game, he struggled at the line. Last night, it was from 3. He was 1 for 6. I'm not particularly concerned about that. He's going to be able to hit those shots, hopefully, in the future. Hopefully, it's just one of those nights. Lathan Somerville. Okay, I think we're probably all in agreement that this guy should start. He gives us a dimension at the 5 position we just haven't had. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 for 8 shooting. Can create a shot, strong to the basket. Now, I kind of get what coach is probably trying to do without Bole, have that big physical presence in the middle to kind of create, if it was a football terminology, it would be a run stopper. I'm not sure how much of a rim protector he is, but you need that guy with physical presence in the paint. And I think he's kind of hoping we can, run some things off of that and be effective that way. But I don't know, man. I think preseason, there were some people who thought that Somerville, I think it was he 3 stars? He might have crept up to be a high 3-star, maybe 4-star in some circles. This is a guy. This team is much more athletic. That was the other eyeball thing I probably should have mentioned. This is a much more athletic team, and if we're going to have that kind of roster with these kind of guys, Lathan Somerville might be the guy that you want to have starting at the 5 position. Nonetheless, he's been a revelation. Good for him. J-Mike, last night, came off the bench. He hit a couple shots in a row, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, gave us some energy, gives us some press defense. Zach Martini, also 7 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Jeremiah Williams, I love this guy because he's got that energy and he's not shy about taking to the basket. Struggled from the field last night. I think he was 2 for 8. He might have been like 1 for 6 at some point. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. PJ Hayes, he was only 1 for 3 from 3. He had one that kind of rimmed out. If he had made that, the stat line and the outcome of the game might have looked a little different. Nonetheless, 5 points, 7 rebounds. He was hitting the boards last night. We did a decent job on the boards. We out-rebounded 38-34. And 29 on defense, 9 on offense. And then Tyson Acuff, glad to see him get some action. Only 2 points, 2 rebounds. And I think he had a few assists. Nonetheless, there were some really good things to take out of this game. You can kind of see this is a different team. Create own shots. They're athletic. They can move the ball, move up and down the court, not shy about taking it to the basket, and they can, and their big man can create his own shot. And Lathan Somerville, who was 4 for 5 from the foul line. I mean, so big man that hits 80% of his free throws, he's going to be one of the, I mean, if that continues, his free throw percentage is going to be better than our team on average. And let's get to some of the bugaboos that we continue to have issues with. So we got better in the free throws last night after a not great game last week. Nonetheless, 18 of 25, that comes in at 72%. It's okay. It's not really good. Kind of want to be in the 75% range or higher. But it's improvement. 3 points. 3 points. We were 3 for 16 last night. And we continue to struggle in that realm. I'm hoping it's just a cohesion and coming together and playing together kind of thing. You know, with PJ Hayes and Zach Martini and Harp and Jeremiah Williams. He's not a huge big 3-point shooter, but he can hit them. We got to be able to hit 3-point shots. We were only 3 for 16 last night. If we go 7 for 16, it's an 18-point win. We were a 17-point favorite. This was a nail-biter down to the last few minutes. So 3-point shooting. And then on the defensive side, our perimeter defense for the first 3 quarters of the game was terrible. St. Peter's was just nailing threes. They, at one point, were like 10 for 19. They went cold down the stretch, and we played better defense, and they wound up 10 for 27. But they were staying in the game by launching up threes. We're going to have to tighten up that perimeter defense. Randolph was having his way. I think he had 22 points. It was like 4 for 8 from 3. But it kept them in the game. We have to tighten up the perimeter D. I'm hopeful, judging from how we played down the stretch defensively, that we'll be able to get that balance between guys that could create their own shot, move up and down the court, hit the three, and play some defense. I think that's what Coach is probably, and rebound. I think that's what Coach is probably going for. The past few years we've really struggled from 3, and our field goal percentage, although better at 2, 2-point shots, could stand some improvement as well. We shot last night 27 of 56, so that's 48%. That's not bad. So if we can play a better perimeter D, do better from the 3-point arc, continue to improve on free throws, and don't miss some easy shots from underneath last night. We probably could have been in the low to mid 50s had we hit some shots in the lanes. We missed a few there. I think there's a huge upside to this team, and we look forward to a team that doesn't drive us nuts like we have in the past, where we can literally go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes without scoring. I don't think this is going to be one of those teams. We'll probably have our cold spells, shooting cold spells, but nothing like we have in the past. So you got to win these kind of games. They're not all works of art, and we did beat St. Peter's by 10 points. We'll see how they wind up at the end of the year. They're probably going to be somewhat competitive. Nonetheless, I hope you all enjoyed the game last night, and we will see you the next time.